Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
SBTV Nation, it's your boy The Dream in the house. What's going on? It's Thursday. We're getting ready to get it popping. We got a great show lined up for you today. We got NBA action. We got some NFL talks. We got hockey going on. And of course, the Mad Hatter is here with his college extravaganza. What's up?
Yes, sir. Dream, good morning to you. Happy Friday Eve. It sounds like you're ready for the weekend and ready to kick this thing right off with college basketball.
Dude, college basketball, the world of college basketball keeps getting stranger and stranger every day.
I know, man. Considering the fact that Villanova went down to Butler, is Butler for real?
Forget about Villanova Butler for a minute. Just put that to the side for a minute. Can we talk about Cuse beating Duke?
Well, Dream, come on. It was in Syracuse. You know how that goes. It's a home team underdog in the spotlight and on prime time. Come on, man. You know that
Cuse
that's going.
beating Duke to me is just it is just atypical of what's going on this season in college basketball. I believe you already said it at the beginning of the season. It is wide open this season as far as the NCAA tournament is concerned.
It's wide open, but yeah, a team like Duke is obviously going to lose on the road. That team is not that good, Dream. You know that. You and I've been saying it for years now, for the last 2 years.
Duke is not that good. I don't like this particular team, and I do believe March Sadness will be the recipe for Coach K this season.
I got a real good Coach K crying Jordan I got to send you. It's a real good one. It's a real good one. So good morning to everybody. We are live right now. We're almost at the end of February. Damn, this month has flown by. But
it's the shortest month in the calendar.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because it's Black History Month.
Because it's Black History Month. They gave you February.
Right. You wouldn't give us like a March. You just let's go February.
Let's get it in and out. Let's get it in and out.
Let's get it in and out. Let's get back to being white for the rest of the month.
I don't know. I mean, you know, the great president has really embraced the African American community.
Please stop.
I'm serious.
Talking about Trump.
He has embraced the African American community. Dream.
Kid, Trump's approval ratings right now are the lowest.
America great again.
The approval ratings, and I'm going to tell you one thing listen, this transgender thing that he's got popping off he needs to just leave it alone.
I don't even know why even bring it. You know what I'm saying? Why even bother with that right now? When you got
I don't
way
know.
More
but
problems.
He's digging himself into a serious mess. And that's all I'm going to talk about. But I don't want to talk about him today. We got a lot popping off of college basketball. Pat, I do need to talk to you about the North Carolina Tar Heels. Terrence Mack, where you at? All right.
Well, you know what? Before we do that, Dream, just stop reading all the nonsense fake news out there. Just stop. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it's called winning.
Pat.
The man won. He's the winner, Dream. He won. That's called winning. I'm
not talking about Trump today. All right? I'm not doing it. I'm not talking about Trump today. It's our first day
everybody's
back.
all
We got
upset.
mad stuff going on. I'd rather talk about Boogie being with the Pelicans.
Well, you know what, Dream? You know, it's either the protests are stopped or nobody's covering it anymore because no one cares anymore. So that's just the way it goes. But anyway, let's move over.
The protests haven't stopped. And if anything, I got to be honest with you. I have said before that Donald Trump is bringing the country together. However, to his dismay, they're coming together against him.
You know what? You believe too much. Just like all the polls that had Hillary in the lead. Remember that? It's the same premise, Dream, because you know if he goes and does a rally, he gets 10,000 people like just blinking an eye. So that's all I got to say about that one. But
Can we
anyway,
please talk sports?
yes, let's move on here. Let's have a conversation about sports and the NCAA basketball as, Dream, North Carolina, definitely impressive, but you know how Louisville is on the road.
Louisville is dusty on the road, but guys, I do want to talk about this with this North Carolina team. And Rick Lopez is out there. I gave him North Carolina yesterday. You know, some of you guys, I'm not really doing the DM thing anymore, and I'm really, really busy. But if you got any ideas, or you hit me up like quite a few of you do, and I'll shoot you whatever I'm looking at. But I did talk about North Carolina to a couple of people in the nation yesterday. I did hit up Rick Lopez. The thing about North Carolina is when North Carolina plays a team like Louisville, like Syracuse, like Virginia, they have a distinct advantage against these teams, in my opinion. These teams that try to body you up and play a tough, physical type of defense. North Carolina's athleticism overcomes that. So I think keeping an eye on this moving forward, that's the worst recipe to come into North Carolina and try to play this team. I am very impressed about this team. Now, the one thing I have talked about not liking Roy Williams as a coach and as a head coach in these spots. I don't necessarily love his rotation. Terrence Mack has mentioned that as well, as far as substitutions are concerned and keeping guys fresh. A couple other philosophies that he runs kind of bothers me a little bit, but this team's got a lot of athleticism, man. They can get up and down the court, can get at you. They've got a lot of elements and a lot of different ways to score on you, which definitely bodes well moving forward in the tournament because you want a team that has multiple scoring options. Considering one thing gets stopped or the other thing gets stopped and go another direction. So we got to keep an eye on this team. Listen, the ACC tournament is going to be the bomb.
It is going to be the bomb, exactly. Well, you know what, Dream? I mean, North Carolina offensive rebounds is number one in the nation.
Dude, no kidding.
That's very, very solid. I mean, you know what I mean?
Especially considering Purdue's around there and Swagenin's averaging 13.5 rebounds a game. So that's really impressive for them.
No, it's crazy because they're number one in offensive percentage as far as rebounding is concerned, but then you can't find them on the defense as far as the top 20. They're actually down to 24 on that. But still, it's still pretty impressive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, whatever. Hey, we'll keep it moving. And Kansas wins big over TCU.
Kansas went big over TCU. TCU has not had a good season in basketball or football this season, so they need to take it back to the drawing board as far as I'm concerned. Kansas wins big. Irvin says the Big East tournament is going to be the bomb. Irv, stop, please, with the Big East. Irvin, by the way, Georgetown yesterday giving 16 points. Gets beat on the court. John Thompson III, I'm sorry, he's got to go.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you know what? Speaking of the ACC tournament, Dream, don't be surprised if Wake Forest gets it done. Consider the fact that they beat Pittsburgh last night, and I was on that last night. But I was on that.
You didn't throw your boy nothing?
Listen, because you didn't want my play. Because I added Maryland to it. And Maryland got
you should have hollered because I didn't like Maryland that spot last night.
Maryland loses to Minnesota in their house. Minnesota was draining threes left and right. Dream. I was watching the game.
Benjamin
I'm like,
Rowe just said it. Benjamin Rowe just said it right now.
What's that?
Go look at Twitter. Oh my God. Benjamin Rowe, right when I was trying to get 10 right. Real serious and concentrate on college basketball. Benjamin Rowe just threw a knockout punch.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice photograph right there.
Benjamin Rowe. Oh, my God.
Good looking. Yeah, that one's dope. I've seen that one before, Dream. She's off the charts.
Anyway, go back to you. I'm sorry. I'm
lost now. What was I even talking about? Oh, yeah. Talking about Maryland getting smoked in their house, number 24. Losing to Minnesota. I mean, hey,
I did not like the Minnesota matchup. I really didn't. I didn't. And Maryland, by the way, little slight slide they're on right now. Yeah. And I think there's been a disconnect as far as Melo Trimble and who he trusts giving the ball to. See, that's another important additive about this game and important going into the tournament. is that you have to have the trust in your teammates. Teammates that have played together last season and are going into this season, to me, have a distinct advantage. Obviously, I mean, I don't have to be a rocket scientist to explain that to you, but when you look at a team like Purdue and you think of even Villanova, who lost a couple pieces of the puzzle, you know, these teams are familiar with the guys and the crew and the cast around them. In Maryland's position, you lost a bit of the talent that Trimble was used to playing with last year. Of course, he comes back hoping to up his stock and to go into the NBA this season. But now it seems though he feels like he has to put it all on his shoulders and not trust his teammates, which is going to be an interesting point to watch moving forward with this Maryland team.
Yeah, man. I mean, and they actually put the clamps down on Melo Trimble in the first half. I think he was like 1 for 8 or something.
Down
in the first half.
Yeah.
And Maryland had the lead at the end of the first half. So I was like, oh, maybe this squad is pretty damn good. And sure enough, they ended up getting smoked in the second half and lost the game and just kept giving. I mean, but Minnesota was hitting obnoxious threes, though.
No doubt.
I mean, they were coming down in transition, Dream, just stopping dead like off-balance threes. I mean, it was just ridiculous. It was absolutely crazy. But anyway, looking at the rest of it and what went down yesterday, Dream, I see that, this Houston team, I don't know how you feel about them. I mean, obviously they lost to SMU, but, I mean, this team isn't that bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They're not horrible. I think that they might be able to slide into the NCAA tournament. They may. I mean, they were actually down 10 at the end of the first half, which was surprising to booty UConn, which, by the way, UConn's not getting in this year. No,
well, we know UConn's not getting in this year, and I agree. Hat, the thing about this is, dude, there's going to be some sad... I've been looking at this ever since you brought it up on Monday. Yeah. Looking at the tournaments, looking at the Big East tournaments, looking at the conference tournaments, and there's going to be a lot of sad teams this year.
Oh, definitely. The NIT is going to be stacked, kid.
Stacked.
It's going to be stacked because, I mean, you got, guys, I mean, I don't know if you guys realize this, but you have a ton of like 17-win teams, 18-win teams that are even going to be outside looking in.
Not getting in. I know. That's what I'm saying. Not getting. And my thing is, the ACC, dude, when you look at the ACC and look at what the ACC's offering and think about, what do you think the most the ACC is going to get? Because I'm looking at, like, ACC has a solid 6 teams that can go.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to let 6 teams from the ACC in?
Yeah, because it makes sense.
Then they're gonna murder other conferences. You're talking about other conferences gonna get like 1 team in.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's usually how most of them go anyway. Like those smaller conferences, like the America East.
Yeah, but that America, I mean, when you look at the America, I mean, you're looking at Houston, you're looking at SMU. There's a few good teams out there as well that are not. You're talking, hey, guess what? Houston, you're not getting in. SMU's going.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm talking about the America East with like Vermont and Albany and all that.
Gotcha.
They usually just get the one team that's the conference champion because they get the automatic bid. But yeah, like just the American alone, you got 3 teams that are vying for, and then you even have like Central Florida and Memphis that have 18 wins.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This is a crazy season. Who's going in the Ivy League, Hat? Because I know you're always close
Ivy
to
League
that.
is just going to be one team, and it's probably going to be Princeton.
Okay.
Because they are undefeated in conference play, and I mean they murdered Yale the other day. So I mean,
Mercer Madness last night.
Mercer Madness got beat, and Mercer Madness is a spot bet, Dream. You don't bet them every time.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to look when they're playing like the Airborne Academy from Air Force One or something like that. That that doesn't really have that doesn't really have 500 percentage as far as wins are concerned. So you got to do stuff like that. But looking at the rest of it here, man. I mean, you've got obviously you've got that conference where you have let's see, like VCU, and you have Dayton, you have like George Mason and Davidson and stuff like that. But they usually put in at least 2 teams from that conference from the Atlantic 10. Then you got obviously the ACC. I mean, kid, even like Wake and Georgia Tech have 16 wins. I think those teams are good.
My thing is, we talk about the ACC. I'm very interested in seeing what happens with Syracuse.
Let's see, where's Syracuse now? They have total 17 wins. So, yeah. And what they do is they don't just look at the amount of wins, Dream. They look at the strength of the schedule. They look at they look at points as far as point differential. whether it's bad or good. They look at a bunch of different things here, man. So
if Syracuse makes it in, that means you're going to have to take 7 teams from the ACC.
Let's see, you got Virginia, Vatech, Miami, Florida. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That would put almost 10 teams.
10 teams. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, hey, you know what? They would do it.
Wow.
I don't see why not, to be honest with you.
Irvin says Cuse is 100% in, and I happen to think that you may be right. I mean, it's going to depend on
the last couple of games.
They got Louisville and Georgia Tech.
Which are 2 very strong teams. They could lose both those games.
They could lose. If they lose both those games, I'm struggling with Syracuse getting in the tournament.
Right.
I am. I really am, Irv. If they lose to Louisville and Georgia Tech, both of them, I'm struggling. I see what probably is going to happen is a split, and then we're going to have to watch what they do in conference tournament.
Yeah.
Syracuse is, to me, they're on the bubble.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, they just lost the other night to Georgia Tech. I mean, Georgia Tech is a better team than them, in my opinion. But let's see what else. I mean, just because you had the one Duke win at home, that's not doing it for me, guys.
Well, no, it's not just that. Well, come on. The other thing, let's be real now. The other thing that goes on behind the scenes, as we all know, certain teams always get in. I mean, like Boeheim, Syracuse, come on.
Just like UConn. But I don't think UConn's going to make it in this year.
Just like not this year, right?
Yeah.
UConn's not, but whenever your body of work is so-so, you get the historic nod, and they throw you in and just let everybody be mad about it.
Then you got to go over to the Big 12, kid. You got at least 6 teams right now that have 18 wins or better, and obviously you're going to have Huggy Hugs in there. Impress Virginia. You're going to have Kansas, Baylor, and lose.
I'm going to play everybody right again. I'm not even falling for that this year.
Wait till they play Gonzaga and knock them out. West Virginia, you've got Kansas, Baylor, Iowa State, Oklahoma State. I mean, you got some pretty good teams here. I mean, their winning percentage, damn, I mean, you're looking at some great winning percentages here, Dream. I mean, looks good.
And you know they're probably going to let Izzo in.
Let's see. Where are they?
Dusty.
Let's see. Let's look for the Big Ten here. Big Ten. We've got Michigan State is 16-11. Yeah,
they're gonna let Izzo in, and Michigan State is not good this season. And you know what? If Michigan State gets in, Michigan's going to start yelling. Well, why aren't we in?
Yeah,
18
no doubt.
and 10.
Right.
This year is going to be, it's going to be a lot of controversy, and the committee does have their hands full this season with who they put in. Michigan State, though, is on a very nice run right now in the midst of it looks like a 6-game winning streak.
What about the the Horizon League where you got Valparaiso and you have Oakland? Both teams have 22 and 23 wins. And you know how I feel about this Oakland team, Dream.
I know how you feel about this Oakland team, and you brought them to light to me a little bit. I did catch them the other night, which but son, once again, it's that stadium they play.
I know, but they're dope there. They do well. They do very well over there.
I don't know if the ribs are actually regulation.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? Hey, Monmouth, regardless if they win or not, should make the tournament. But I think they're going to win the Metro Atlantic, so I'm not worried about them. I think they're going to get in there, Dream. That's my squad. They've been winning by 20 points or more, like every game. I don't know if you've paid attention to my dark horses lately.
Blown up right in the first, second round of the tournament.
I don't think so, man. I think they'll be a higher seed, to be honest with you. I think they'll be like a 12 to 13 seed instead of like a 15 or 16. Then you look at the rest of the landscape here. You got your Pac-12, kid. There's another conference that has massive amounts of wins between California, USC, UCLA, Oregon, Arizona, and Utah. A lot of wins there.
Lot of wins. And I think, you know what? I feel like the Pac is going to get snubbed this year the worst, to be honest.
You think so, huh?
I do. Well, because historically, they have gotten snubbed, and I think that so much attention is going to be on the ACC, which it always is, which is apropos. I do understand, but I'm telling you, this season, and Rick Lopez can attest to this because he's my Pac-12 guy, as he hit last night with the over in the Oregon game, brought that to my attention, and good looking. But he's positioned out there in the West. Dude, they've been balling out there this season. Yeah. I mean, I'm up late night after I put the kids to bed. I'm up late night with nothing to do. I turn on the TV and watch these games. I'm telling you, Arizona State, looking dusty to me, is as good as, I don't know, like a six ranked team in the Big East or ACC. I mean, I'm talking that Pac's been balling. It's not your prototypical Pac this year.
Looking at the amount of conferences, it looks like there's about 32 conferences. So what that means is, if you just put this in perspective, if you get 6 teams out of each of the Power 5 conferences, that's 30 teams right there. Okay, minus the division champions or the conference champions, so that puts you at 25. So if you think about it, there is another 27 teams that are going to have conference champions that get in. So who's left? Really not much left. Maybe like there's like 5 teams that are out of however many 16 and 17 win teams here, Dream. There's like probably 20 of them. You're going to have 5 spots.
And that's why right now teams have got to be in the locker room and they're saying, we got to go win it. We got to finish strong.
Yeah.
Exactly. We have to win. We have to finish strong. And we cannot take any game lightly right now because we can't risk the fact of getting snubbed.
Yeah, exactly. And you probably have 7 spots instead of 5 because you have those, you have the round of 68 now.
Okay.
Where they allow 2 weaker conferences to play each other for that 16 spot. So you got probably about 7. But there's minimum 20 teams that are vying for those 7 spots. It's kind of nuts, man. And then you have, like I said, you have the other conferences where you have, the Oakland and the Valpo, where you have a couple there. So I don't know, Dream. It's going to be tight. You got to go out and win these 2 games. Tight. Go out and win these 2 games, and then you need to go advance very far in your tournament. You have to.
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go to my grave with this. If they get murdered, Cat's going to be like, remember when the Dream was all on the Pac? This Pac, I hate saying it, one of these teams, if not 2, is going to the Final Four. If not winning the whole thing. I'm telling you, Arizona or UCLA, I'm telling you, Hat, one of these 2 teams, I believe in it. I think one of these 2 teams, and I'm going to probably have to put my money where my mouth is because I'm telling you, these teams, and I really like this UCLA team, I really do, but one of these 2 teams is going far this season.
Well,
watch them both get beaten first.
Yeah, right, of course. No, what will end up happening is that when the conference championships are over, you're going to get a bunch of props, and you could actually bet the Pac-12 to win the championship, and you're probably going to get like a plus 350, plus 400, something like that.
Definitely. Me and Rick Lopez will be right there. Rick, I want you to back up all my money for the Pac-12, and I'm just joking. That's my boy, though. Rick Lopez hits me up last night with the over in the Oregon game. He's like, hey, I like the number. It was at 131. So then I give him the North Carolina game, and I tell him, I think you should take North Carolina, and we'll get on to Oregon. We kind of like a little collabo thing.
Yeah. So
North Carolina comes out. They look shaky at the beginning. They're only up 3 points at the half, but look shaky. And he hits me with like a little emoji with the funny look, and I'm like, I'm just cracking up. Meanwhile, the Oregon-Cal game looks a mess. It starts off, we took the over, which was 131. Mm-hmm. They start off with only 46 points in the first half. We're like, wow. Oh, no. So both plays are looking out the gate dusty. Oregon comes back and beats California last night in impressive fashion. They blow the doors off in the second half, put up 52 points in the second half. We end up hitting the over, and then North Carolina puts the drubbing on in the second half against Louisville. So the night ended up being just dope.
52 points in the second half, Dream.
Stupid, kid. Stupid.
Wow. Unbelievable, man. Well, hey, you know what? Pretty exciting time of year right now as far as college hoop is concerned.
Very exciting time, and I think you can gauge a lot of these guys. If you want to get down with those totals, I don't know if you've been spotting any type of trends at all. Get at me if you got a trend with the totals or what you're spotting with the totals. Last year, I did have a lot of success during the college basketball tournament. Second half total plays based on what the score was at the half. We were able to, teams that were down by 10 or more points at the half, we were able to go with unders, and in games that they were tight at the half, we were able to take overs, and it was working like a charm last year. So if you're noticing any of those trends, start looking for those now and spotting those now, and maybe we can take advantage of them, because last year they were hitting at a staggering rate.
Really?
Staggering rate,
A couple of things. I mean, you basically just breezed right over it, but Villanova lost to Butler last night, Dream.
I do know that okay, yeah, let's get back to that. Villanova did lose to Butler last night. Am I nervous? No. Am I worried? No. Butler is a pretty good team.
Great team.
I won't go great. They're pretty good. I think they're pretty good. I think they're pretty good. I'm not going to say great. Nova, all right, they lost the game.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well, you know what? They might have taken them a little lightly.
No, they didn't take them lightly. I don't think they did that, but they did lose the game. They did lose the game.
Okay. Well,
perimeter shooting was garbage.
Perimeter shooting was garbage.
Garbage last night. Couldn't buy a bucket last night. It couldn't get that momentum. Made a couple of quick spurts, but it never would pan out. Butler just kind of was charmed last night. They took it right out of the gate. They matched the intensity of Villanova. Villanova went in 1.5. Then Butler came out in the second half and just executed, man. Villanova could not buy a bucket.
Wow. Unbelievable, but definitely a lot of games last night, man. My God.
A lot of games went down last night. We did mention the Kansas TCU thing. Hey, listen, Kansas, whatever. Kansas got a lot of Kansas first to me needs to win their conference.
Sure.
And I don't know that they're doing that.
It's a tough call.
Thoughts?
Tough call.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about it right now. I mean, there's a lot of pretty decent teams, and kid, Huggy Hugs, watch out. Watch them win the national title this year, West Virginia. That'd be hilarious.
West Virginia is not winning the national title.
All right.
Huggy Hugs, though, is a problem in that conference, the Big 12 we're talking about. Baylor, I don't think Baylor's real. I'm sorry. I'm not going to buy into Baylor this season. One team to watch out for, though, this Iowa State team is very sneaky right now in this conference. I like what they've been doing. Sneaky little team. Very, they've got some good perimeter shooting. Keep an eye on Iowa State moving forward. I'm just a team to look at. Don't go crazy. Just a team to look at.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. So that's gonna. I mean, these they're all gonna be fun to watch.
Very fun to watch this season. Hey, college basketball, we talk about the NFL and we talk about college football and how much we love it, but you cannot match the intensity and the excitement of the college basketball conference tournaments and then March Madness with the big NCAA tournament. For me, I know the Super Bowl is great, but it's one game.
It's one game. And
the NFL playoffs are great, but there's, 2 to 4 games a week. You know what I'm saying, on the weekend. This March Madness is just like a junkie's paradise.
Yeah.
Because you start off on that Thursday and it's just all out games, 6 every 2-3 hours.
I just wish the final game was 2 out of 3.
No.
I just don't know. Yeah, you think so? You think it should be just that one game and that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 out of 3?
2 out of 3, player.
Come on.
You know what? It's just the one and done. I mean, you go cold for one game. You could be yeah, I know. Get there and practice shooting at 6 o'clock in the morning. So this way you're ready for the nighttime. Got it. Hey, Marlon, what's up, buddy? Thank you very much for the talent. We appreciate that. That's a nice one, Dream.
So in other news,
yes,
ESPN is shoving down your throats. DeMarcus Cousins goes to the Pelicans. Who cares?
They love that.
Who cares that Boogie's with the Pelicans? Because everybody's in love with Cousins right now. I guarantee you, in like a month and a half, New Orleans will be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, right. 1,000-to-1 shot to win the NBA championship.
And they're not winning. They're not winning the championship. And I know you guys love Anthony Davis and everything. Look, stop. Guys, it's going to be Golden State and Cleveland, okay? I mean, the other stuff is irrelevant.
Yeah, good point.
It's going to be Golden State, and Golden State, I know it's not going to be a cakewalk either because you got the Spurs, and I'm not going to discount the Spurs. I never will. But the Spurs are the only team that I'm worried about. Don't tell me about Houston. Don't tell me about OKC. I don't want to hear about that. Okay? The Spurs are the only team that have a shot against the Warriors, and I don't think they got a real shot against the Warriors either.
What about the Craptors in Cleveland?
Yeah, I can't wait for them. Raptors. Lowry and DeRozan.
They'll steal a game.
They will. They'll steal it. Yeah, because Cleveland will be hanging out in Toronto. Partying it up.
This is a real talk,
There
by
are
the way.
still some listen, today's the trade deadline for the NBA. There are still some talks about the Celtics trying to acquire Jimmy Butler. The Celtics should go after Jimmy Butler, not Paul George. The Celtics need Jimmy Butler, not Paul George.
Got it.
That would be a bad fit for the Celtics, in my opinion. Of course, I'm not a GM. I am the dream. However, the Celtics need Jimmy Butler. His personality, it's all about body language, personality type of player, okay? Yep. And Jimmy Butler fits this Celtic team better than Paul George would fit. So I definitely think if they're going to do it, I don't think the Bulls are parting with Jimmy Butler, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I really don't.
Nah, that'd be crazy if they did. They would.
I think that'd be great. I agree with you, but they're in the midst of this mess that they created right now, which you and I spotted in the offseason, and I don't know why they wanted to bring in some of the guys that they brought in, but they gotta live with it.
Gotta live with their choices. Exactly. And D Wade, I mean, that's a ugly situation for him, huh?
You know what? I feel bad for him because, you hate when a guy ends his career like this. Hey, you know what I was thinking about the other day? Speaking of D-Wade and speaking of careers, you know what I was thinking about the other day? You know what Cleveland should have went after?
Cool.
Just think about this for a minute. Give this a thought for 1 second. How dope would Cleveland be with Kobe Cole coming off the bench?
Oh, yeah. That would be nice.
I would have chased Kobe. I would have went and made Kobe an offer.
Yeah, right. Why not?
LeBron, they were going after Melo. They couldn't get Melo. Mm-hmm. I don't know where Kobe is as far as his mentality is concerned, and of course his physicality. And I know he dealt with some injuries at the end of his career. But you're talking about, hey, listen, all we want is 15 minutes out of you. We want you coming off the bench. Paul Pierce been around forever.
The truth is done this year, Dream. That's it.
I'm just saying, still hung out forever. I think Kobe on Cleveland, stupid.
After the farewell tour and all that, there's no way he's coming back.
I don't disagree with that. However, I've always said this. Kobe Bryant at his end of when the Lakers re-signed, the last re-signing of Kobe Bryant, to me, by him and his agent, was a mistake. I know he wanted to end his career as a Laker, but Kobe will always have been remembered as a Laker, okay? And I know that was important to them. However, you got to think about the atmosphere of today's sports and today's athletes. Nobody would have knocked Kobe Bryant going to another team where he would have had an opportunity to get, another championship. And for him to link up with LeBron or go to a better team, to me, I think Kobe, honestly, I think he still has, like, this year and probably one more year. I felt like that was the years still left of good basketball, just not in the Lakers, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that was a brutal year last year for him.
It was brutal, dude. But there was no talent around him. And then he's there in the leadership role. It put everybody in a bad spot. The coaches had a tough time coaching him. The players had a tough time playing with him. It was just a bad atmosphere for everyone. And I think, to me, Kobe Bryant left a little bit 1 to 2 years too early, but the great ones all have.
Yeah, got it. I know. Well, anyway, Dream.
Yes.
What else you got up your sleeve here?
Well, in other talks that we have going on, let's see what else. I wrote down a couple things. We haven't talked about, speaking of Lakers and speaking of Kobe, Magic Johnson takes over the Lake Show.
Yes.
I think that is a great step in the right direction.
Yeah,
there has been some comments as far as, is Magic the most qualified person to run? Look, nobody cares who's qualified and who's not.
Yeah, right.
You think Magic Johnson's not qualified to be the GM of the Lakers? Really?
Yeah, right.
I do.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Does Magic Johnson know basketball? Yes. Does Magic Johnson know business? Yes. So why is he not qualified? Crazy. I don't know. I've heard some talk out of ESPN that there are people that are probably more capable. And guess what? So what? There are people that are more capable, maybe, and maybe not. Because to me, Jerry Jones has definitely highlighted the importance of a GM spot.
Sure. Absolutely.
Right?
You know what, Dream? That's I think, you know what, you give it a shot. I mean, because the guy's a genius. I mean, the guy is really, really smart. I mean, how much money does he have right now?
Well, I mean, it's not even about the money. What I like about Magic, though, is, and what I like about sometimes these players being in those positions is that when you call a guy into the office and you say, hey, listen, we're getting rid of you, and we're getting rid of you because you're booty.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you're an all-time legendary player, then the player sitting across from you has, like, nothing to say.
Yep.
Because the all-time legendary player is going to be like, okay, when I've come to the stadium or I've come to the court, I don't see you out there practicing before the games. I don't see you giving it. I don't see you putting the dedication in. I don't see what I need to see for you to be great. I know what it takes to be great because I was great. You're not doing it, so we're letting you go. And you can't. There's nothing you can say. All you do is just grab your stuff.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Get your backpack.
That's it.
And you bounce. And that's what I love about a person like Magic Johnson being at the helm, because it's a no-nonsense, and he knows what he's looking for. He knows what he spots. He knows about the work ethic, and he can tell you to kick Razaks.
Absolutely, Dream. Right on. So you know what? The NBA is back in full swing tonight.
NBA is back in full swing tonight, and with that being said,
And
let's
I think
move
it might
right
be
into tonight's
it might be a question
work.
of, listen, I got to be honest with you.
Yes.
Last night I lost because I had Maryland.
Okay.
The day before that, I lost with Georgia Tech.
Okay.
So I need
you need your boy.
I need to bounce back today because
You need me to come to the ref. You ready? You ready to
kid,
hop on?
believe me,
Hop on the dream team.
I'm not giving back half of what I won. I'm not doing that. Not at all. I mean, I go dribs and drabs here. So let's get right into the NBA first and see what we got. Then we'll go into college hoop.
Okay, let me just hear, what do you have for a line for the Cleveland game?
Where are we at? 10.5.
Okay, 10.5. I thought that was for a second. I thought it was 16. As I couldn't make it out. I was like, whoa.
Cleveland's hosting the New York Knickerbockers tonight.
New York Knickerbockers. I definitely like a two-team teaser in the NBA. I like the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yep.
And I like the Golden State Warriors. I'm going to tell you why. Because both teams want to come out of the All-Star break and start off the second half of the season with wins. This is like game one, as far as I'm concerned, of the real season.
Sure.
Okay? Both teams that want to start out, they want to make a statement. The Cavs are going to go out and try to punch the Knicks right in the face, right out of the gate. I would not be surprised if the Cavs cover their number, and I would not be surprised if Golden State covers their number. But why not put the two together in a teaser, drop some of those points, and ride it right on out? I love the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, and I love the Golden State Warriors.
Well, you know what? Hey, I mean, that's pretty good. It makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. I mean, they're both home as well. And you got the LA Clips going into Golden State, so that's really not that difficult of a game to win, but you never know. It could be a little bit.
I feel bad for the Clips. Clips are limping in, and I think this is the last season that pack is all together.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
I think there's going to be some major shakeups and changes with the Clippers in the offseason, and it's unfortunate that they were never able to sustain a win with that team, because I always felt that team had a ton of talent.
Right on, Dream. All right. Well, you know what? There's really not much else in the NBA. There was a couple more games, but none of them really did it for me.
Well, you're going to see the unveiling of Boogie today with the Pelicans, and that's an interesting spot, as the Pelicans are, I believe, given 3? No, Houston's -4.
Houston's -4 on the road.
Houston's -4 on the road.
No,
Let's watch. I'm not.
Let's see how he gets acclimated with the system.
Yeah, well, and I don't like the Pelicans anyway. So, and because I don't think Anthony Davis is good as he's good. Don't get me wrong, talented guy, great athlete, good player, a lot of energy, young player. I just don't love him like I don't have the same love affair that the rest of the NBA seems to have with him and the fan base.
I don't either. I'm right there with you. Okay. So we don't have a line yet on Memphis and Cincinnati, but that should be a pretty good game in Cincinnati. I would expect them to be giving double digits.
You're with the college basketball, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep. Moving on here to the rest of it, I see your UCLA team is playing at Arizona State on the road. Could be the game where they get snook. Green.
No, there's not going to be any sneaking this evening.
Why not?
UCLA can handle Arizona State. I don't expect UCLA to have a whole ton of problems tonight. I do like UCLA. You also have my Arizona team at home tonight against USC. All tough games. I mean, Arizona, this is going to be a tough game. But once again, if we look at those teasers, I think you can put UCLA, Arizona together in a teaser. I see Utah, Colorado down there. That's going to be a competitive game. Not going to go anywhere near that game. But the other spot I have for the teaser that I absolutely love, Michigan State.
Michigan State, huh?
Michigan State.
What are they playing? The Ohio State
Nebraska.
University? Or no, Nebraska. Let me find it.
Michigan State is playing Nebraska.
It's not on my board for some reason. Huh. Hosting Nebraska, huh? How are you going to take Michigan State?
Say that again?
How are you going to take Michigan State?
I like Michigan State this evening because I told you Michigan State is very quietly on a nice little winning streak right now. And I do believe that they will get the job done tonight against a Nebraska team that just hasn't been good this season.
Well, if you look at them on paper on the smart chart, I mean, statistically, they're definitely a better team than Nebraska. That's for sure. They are home, obviously, Dream.
Problem with Michigan State is you're young.
Got it. Okay.
You're very, very young.
All right. I hear what you're saying.
I had a very tough schedule right out the beginning of the gate and have kind of underachieved as far as they're concerned. But Izzo will tell you that he likes that. He does it every year. You know, he'll give you that type of rhetoric. However, it didn't work out that well this year. But I think the team is now moving in a little different direction. I think that they're able to understand, buy into the system that he's selling. This Nebraska team has not been good. I like Michigan State to get this win. So I like Michigan State. They're only -6 at home. They need to make a little push if they want to get in this tournament. I think that they're right there and probably will get in. But they make this little push and they get this next win. Now they did lose. I said they've been winning as of late. There's two losses thrown in there. They lost to Purdue, but you're supposed to lose to Purdue. Purdue's
That's
dope.
what I thought. Yeah.
Purdue's dope. But I think that if Michigan State, gets this win against Nebraska. They do have Wisconsin left, Illinois, and Maryland. They need to win at least probably 2 of those 4, which starts right here with Nebraska. They get in the tournament. I like this spot for them.
All right, Dream. And they are playing a Nebraska team that's ranked 192nd in scoring. So
No doubt.
I got the idea.
Already beat them 72-61 in Nebraska, so should handle business at home tonight. I do like Michigan State.
Yeah, and you know what? You have to have the sense of urgency at this point.
Definitely.
Because...
Great stuff.
Yeah, okay. Got it. All right, so, Dream, you know what? I'm looking at the card, and I'm not in love with anything yet.
Okay.
I'm just not. Damn, I really want to make some money tonight, too. Well, you know what? Maybe things will change as I move forward. Because you know what?
Just gave you 3 gyms, player.
I got to look at team totals, under-overs, stats, who's playing, who's out, stuff like that. I might make a decision later on. And if I do, I'll put it out on social media. That's for sure. So what else you got, man? You got some hockey?
Hey, your boy Gonzaga's going too. You can take them -22 against San Diego tonight.
22, huh? Well, I did say they weren't going to cover the other day.
You did say
Remember,
that.
they were given 29. 22 is more manageable here.
I can't wait for Gonzaga to get punched in the face in the tournament.
I'm telling you, huggy hugs.
You might be right.
Press Virginia is going to give them the press coverage. They're not going to know what to do with it. They're going to get in foul trouble and get an early exit out of the tournament. Actually, you know what? I hope they go far for my man Deke's picks. Because he's got them at 75-1, so I hope they go far for you, buddy.
Yeah, and Deke's supposed to be coming on soon, so he can explain to me this Gonzaga love affair that he has that I don't share. But we're going to get him on soon, and we're going to get him to talk about it. Over in the ice real quick, last night, easy night for me, so to say. I mean, a little stomach ache-ish with the Oilers, but Edmonton Capitals are playing the Panthers and the Flyers. I did talk about this, gave this out to Jim Rome as a douche. He's like, no, because he went to the Flyers game. I'm like, dude, Capitals are going to beat the Flyers. And we knew the Flyers were a little bit dysfunctional. We talked about them for most of the season, not having a good season this year. So that came to fruition last night. Moving into tonight, there are a couple of spots that I like this evening. Very careful with the hockey right now, as it's been kind of up and down and inconsistent. That being said, this Ranger team is a monster. I do like the Rangers tonight. They're playing the Maple Leafs, but they are on the road, so keep that in mind. But I do like the Rangers tonight. Montreal Canadiens, the Habs, they got the Islanders coming in. Islanders have had a terrible season. I don't know what's wrong with them. Line changes haven't gone well. Scoring hasn't gone well. Tavares hasn't looked great. A mess. Just a mess with the Islanders. Habs are home. Looking for the Habs to try to get a little stability in their season, get their season going and get it together. I like the Habs tonight at home against the Islanders. Last but not least, we picked on the Colorado Avalanche for most of this season, and the picking on is going to continue. They're going into Smashville. Preds have not been the Preds this year, but still a lot better than the Avalanche. So we're going to go with the Predators to beat the Avalanche. That's going to be Rangers, Canadians, Predators.
I'm struggling getting into the hockey right now.
All right.
I am.
Struggle.
I know you.
Maybe
No,
that's
I
why
know
we've been so successful.
I don't know, man. Well, yeah, I'll see. You know, when we get a little bit closer to the Stanley Cup, I still like your Sharks, though.
I don't know.
No, it's perfect. Let them slide now.
I don't know. I don't like the way they're sliding, though. You know what it reminds me of? They remind me of last year's. There was a team last year that did something like this, and I can't think of who it was.
Montreal.
No, Montreal had issues. No, Montreal had issues during the regular season for most of the season at the midway point. There was a team that went into the playoffs. They had just started sliding right before the playoffs, and were able to skate. I'll come up with it tomorrow. We'll discuss tomorrow. But I don't like what I see on the Sharks lately.
Really?
Bad loss to the Bruins the other night. Bad loss.
Got it. All right. Green.
We're going to get out of here, gang. And the incredible Marley Marr. Hey, get at me, Marlon, if you want to come on. We can talk a little hockey with you as well. I know you're deep into hockey as well. So get at me on the DM tip. Maybe we can get you on the show and talk some hockey. My hockey guests just haven't been responding to me. I don't know what's going on, but hey, I get it. People get busy. People have schedules going, as do we. So you can't always make it on the show. Not a problem. Terrence Mack in the house. Marley Marr's in the house. Joseph Del Rosario's in the house. KMVU's in the house. Marlon, Benjamin Rowe, supplied the talent. Jeff Ryan's out there. JC, Sports Art College. What's going on? Good to see you. Welcome to the party. Vegas Girl 92661. Brian Winkley. Good to see you out there. Rick Lopez, always good to see you as well. So many others. Irvin, I think I mentioned him already. Pamela Michelle, we want to wish her father's in the hospital. We want to wish him a speedy recovery. He's injured in a bad truck accident, and definitely wish him well. Jeff Ryan, good to see you out there. Scott Weaver, Terrence Mack, Jackie, Total Sports Edge, Jay Snyder, and the Hockey Immortal. Gang, very easy. Well, I did give out a few plays tonight. Be very easy with the plays and how you put them together. Talked about the NBA. Talked about the Cavs and the Golden State Warriors in the NBA. College basketball. Talked about Arizona, UCLA, and Michigan State. I do believe you can play Michigan State by themselves, and that will be successful. I do like putting Arizona and UCLA together opposite that. You can do that as well. In hockey, Montreal Canadiens. Talked about them. We also talked about, let's see, who else did we talk about here? I'm sorry, gang. I just lost my train of thought real quick. But as far as the hockey's concerned, I'm pulling up. My bad. We talked about the Rangers, the Canadians, and the Predators. Really like the Predators because I don't like this Avalanche team, especially on the road. But you might want to put those three together as well. Maybe you go to two home teams, leave the Rangers on the side. Watch the formation of everything as it works, and obviously don't go crazy because we got a lot moving forward, especially the tournaments are coming, and we should be able to spot some things a little bit better. That was what I like for tonight. I'm the Dream. Always remember who you with. Make the most of each and every day because you cannot get this time back.
Dream, let me just ask you something. I know Cincinnati's amazing at home, but they're playing an 18-win Memphis team, and they're giving 13 points. That's a lot, isn't it?
A lot of points. That's a lot of points. I don't like that number. A lot of points, but I would not take Memphis.
You wouldn't?
Nope.
Okay. And I refreshed the page, and a bunch of other games came up. So I might have plays after all. So get at me later on, guys. I'll be on all the social media outlets, and we can have that conversation. But we love you to death. Go out there, rise and grind, and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.